Jesse for the music. Stuff because of that.
Yeah. One day and then
That's my
how's it going, sir? So far, so good. Sir?
I didn't even block it.
You didn't need to. Airball.
You see that?
How you doing?
I don't even by myself sometimes. Oh, how we doing tonight? Hey there.
Hey, how are you?
Over.
Not a problem, not a problem.
Picture Ernie in there.
I think it's comfortable here.
Last chair, first row. Maybe what I got on.
Sit there and you'll be concentrating on
Boom.
No, I haven't got it back yet.
We should be getting it.
Oh, how you doing, Jay? Hanging in there, buddy.
Thanks,
Come on.
Well, I'm sure we'll get to it.
Yeah.
Got the ones in the front entrance.
Yeah, they're starting on the west end and work down around. You're gonna hop over to the docks, then come back to the main gate.
Oh man.
Should be done Friday. They got shipped apart. Yeah.
Wow.
But I'm going to work on doing some. We are. The only thing is everything need to be flushed here.
Too cold? Let me see what it said. Let me see what it said on
Test on every box.
Whoa, trip on my chair.
How you doing?
That's JR's right there,
Awesome,
yeah.
isn't it?
Did you get my kiss?
Yeah.
Wow, it gave me like chills.
Yeah, I said, I got mine. Yeah.
I got one, thanks. I brought it.
How are you?
This is a newer draft.
Kill more trees. Okay. No,
There's the Bengals.
The way I can, hey, the date down here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
You're probably one of the Colts to win tonight, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
You probably won't see them tonight.
Mel, you gonna sit out there?
We're gonna see.
Huh?
What are you talking about?
Nothing. Hell, I don't know.
Your eyes set up.
Well, I was gonna let Diane sit up there.
Thank you.
Oh, I thought you said Mel.
I said Mel. I was talking to Mel.
Yeah, right.
I thought she meant for you to come up.
I didn't know if she wanted to sit there and look at the voices.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
I will. Okay, well, I was gonna ask Diane if she wants to sit there. Well, it doesn't matter. No, I said. Sorry, dear.
What's that?
Okay, that's fine. It doesn't matter, dear.
Alright. Hey, you gotta move, you're in my seat.
Because when you get into this, you'll be sitting up here.
Called the other day. Or did you text?
Where's the mayor? Is he upstairs?
He's here.
Okay.
Sorry, and I didn't have much of a service.
So we don't want to introduce the budget ordinance, right?
We just gonna tell them that it's in their packet.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Failed before it spit it out.
Well, we have to open the public hearing
Yes.
and,
First.
no, they're, no.
Thank you.
You'll just open it and ask if there's anybody in the audience that wants to comment, right? Okay.
Thank you.
What's this?
Special meeting on the police is not on the 22nd, right? It's on the 3rd, right?
October 6th.
6th, before our next meeting.
And there's something else there too. Remember the Riverwatch?
Borderworks, Riverwatch.
Yeah.
I did let them know it'd be there too, so
Did they say they could or couldn't, or they didn't say?
they didn't.
We'll go over all that with you once we get everything done.
You were kidding about my salary, right? Because if not, I'm going home.
That night.
That's what I thought. I told my friend,
Today's the last one.
I don't know. I'm not sure. We got so much stuff
no,
going on.
you can't,
I think it's the last
they can't change it. Yeah. Oh, I'm kidding. That's okay. Because I said if they did, I'm going home.
Yeah, there'll be.
And I won't be in tomorrow.
Hard on you since you ain't been eating lunch with him.
Okay, that's good. Tyler, what's this letter you gave me? Okay. And that's fine. I was just kidding.
Got the new book.
Yeah.
Talked to him last night, doing good. Bold up there, it's been
Oh.
35 the other night.
Or million. 1,000.
Where is my?
About an hour north.
Hey, we've always talked to them. We used to talk down and never talked to them.
Mayor, on Border Works,
It was in the
we've got to get those, where is it, that I had that list, the over 500 claims approved, didn't we have a list of those? They all got there in their packet?
Well, that goes under this.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. Somebody asked me about that, and I said, I don't know. I said they approved everything. Hi, guys.
Probably about 5:30, 6 o'clock. No.
Okay, so we're gonna,
Ain't that far.
We drove straight through. Well, it was 7 hours.
no, we don't want that.
How far down?
Yeah,
That's a good way.
Yeah, that's 2 days.
the budget hearing, not the budget per se, just the hearing, the public hearing. Okay. No.
So we need to get,
We're just gonna say that when it comes to this, it's in the packets, everybody look at it.
They are.
Which I've got a
Yeah,
copy here
we gotta
too.
open the public hearing on the
Budget
budget
hearing
first.
Woo! Brian, what did you do to get to come here? I asked all the guys that, so, they're out of town.
We're at training, so.
They're out of town. No, they're not at training. They're out of town.
No, it's council.
Yeah, I saw the paper,
Yep.
and it dawned on me after I read it twice that that's today and tomorrow.
One is
I'm like,
just-
okay.
Wait, there's 4. This one, the one on parks is just further information for next time.
Oh, I got those. Oh, under announcements, I guess when we get to, we should say this was in their packet, because that's Wednesday night.
I don't know either.
I see Leslie got the Conservancy together. Or somebody did.
Yeah, but Suzanne did it.
No, I know, but I mean, that before we couldn't get a date when I could be there.
Right.
Okay, that's fine.
Extra interest.
Yeah.
Man, I worked on that budget for hours.
How many?
Huh?
No.
Oh, just curious.
That chose your trip. They like when it busts all the time.
Where'd you go, Satch? Oh, with the, okay, yeah. Oh, okay. I knew they were in New York. Not so hard.
Call this 2015 budget hearing to order.
Open the public.
Open to public. Any comments from public?
Then close it.
A motion to close?
You don't,
Need a motion to close?
just close it.
Close. Okay.
Okay. You, the 2015 budget ordinance is in everybody's packet. That will come up at the next meeting when we adopt the budgets. That's just for you guys to review and look at. Okay. Now you want to go to Board of Works?
Yep.
Okay.
Excuse me, I thought Dan was going to kind of
I don't,
talk a little bit about the budget and share what he said he was going to share.
That's fine, man. Go ahead, Dan.
For the record, I'm Dan Hedden with Unbaugh, and with me is Tyler Blake. We've had the opportunity to work with the city over the course of the last several months and in reality the last several years on your budget process. You have in front of you some handouts for your deliberation. We did have the opportunity to meet with the administration week before last, and then earlier today we met with a couple members of the council to go through the budget line item by line item and get feedback and comments. But I wanted to summarize for you where the budget stands today. Keep in mind this is the public hearing. You still have the opportunity to make decisions between now and when you actually adopt. The budget that's been proposed by the administration is a small surplus budget, meaning that the revenues planned for next year exceed the spending plan for next year by about $200,000, a little over $200,000. You'll see that summarized in the two-page letter that I wrote you that you should have been handed earlier tonight. Obviously, you haven't had a chance to really read through this and absorb it because you just got it. But as you do, if you have questions, please reach out to me directly, to Jackie, to the mayor, to Tyler. Any one of us can answer your questions. But it goes through and summarizes at a very high level what the proposal is. The proposal is a revenue plan of $35.9 million next year. That primarily comes from a few high-level resources: property taxes, your riverboat wagering emissions tax, your municipal development fund, COIT, and other miscellaneous revenues that add up to that $35 million. Of that amount, you will revenue share just under $10 million of that with other units of government in this area. There's a budget in there for your people of just under $9 million, your outside services, capital outlays, all of that's contemplated in this budget. A couple of things with this budget. The proposal from the mayor is to ensure that the property tax levy is frozen, meaning that the property tax dollars that the city receives this year will stay the same for next year. You are entitled to an increase. The statewide growth rate this year is 2.7%. In 2014 this year and in 2013 last year, the city did not raise its levy. The proposal is to continue that going into the future. So those dollars will stay in the pockets of your taxpayers. The budget book that you have I want to take just a second to go through it so that it might make a little sense to you later on when you go through it in detail. First of all, these are the prescribed budget forms from Gateway. This isn't Dan and Tyler's formatting. So if you don't like the way it looks, we didn't have anything to do with that. But we wanted to print it out as it is in Gateway, because that's how you'll see it if you go online or if you use the Gateway resource or the Gateway portal anytime throughout the next year. So I wanted you to see it in that format. The first part, pages 1 through 17, is the city's estimate of what's going to happen for the rest of this year. It's separated by fund. After that is the Form 1 budget estimate from pages 18 to 61. Those are each of the individual line items that the city plans to use in 2015 to accomplish the operations of the city. So you can compare that, you can compare it to previous years, and any questions that you have, we can answer, or at least try to. On pages 62 through 64 are the revenues that we expect the city to receive in 2015. On pages 65 and 66 is the advertisement that went into your papers. What was the first public, do you know? Okay, so it's recently published in the newspaper.
9/2 was the first one, I think. Yeah.
Pages 67 and 68 is the ordinance that you will adopt at your budget adoption date later in October. Pages 69 through 88 is a summarized version of your budget. It's at a higher level. It just gives you the totals for people, supplies, outside services, and capital. Not a lot of detail on those reports, but it's a prescribed form that the state has. Pages 89 through 105 are what are typically referred to as a 16-line statement. Those are where everything comes together. The budget plan, the revenue plan, the tax rate plan. What I will caution you, or what I want to bring to your attention on pages 89 through 105 is that the property tax levies that you see and the property tax rates that you see are for advertising and adoption purposes only. Once the state receives your budget and does what they need to do to your budget, then you'll get what's called a 1782 notice, and at that time, the city will lock in your levy and your rates. And keep in mind what we said earlier, the levy, the administration is proposing to keep that frozen for 2015. The book finishes up with cash flows for 2014 and 2015. We realize that the font on that is pretty small, but it's because you have a lot of funds. So as you look through that, what you're going to see is what I've described to you. You're going to see the revenue plan, and you're going to see the spending plan, and you're going to see the surplus plan for 2015. If you use your budget book and the letter that I've given you, I think we've given you enough of a guide for when you have a chance to sit down and look at this. If you have any other questions, obviously let me know. Did we pass these out? Okay. Any questions right away?
If necessary, we can call a budget workshop.
Oh, sure. Yeah, between now and the budget adoption date, if you need to get together and talk about this more line item by line item or anything of that nature, that's a local decision. You've met your charge tonight by having the public hearing, giving the public an opportunity to provide input to you. The next required step for you is the budget adoption hearing, which is in October. Anything between then is up to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Okay, we're done with that.
Now we go to Board of Works.
We're gonna move on to Board of Works now. I'll give a couple minutes to get seated. Thank you, man. Thanks, Tyler.
Thank you, Tyler.
Oh, is he on the agenda? Yeah. Are you you ready for a zombie attack? I don't think so. Huh?
Donnie's not here.
Who?
Donnie.
Oh, no.
Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Call this Board of Works meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Member Donnie Bryant, who is absent. Member Aaron Cook. Member Bill Bruner.
Present.
Member Mario Todd.
Here.
Let's see. Sergeant Miller? Lieutenant, I'm sorry, I didn't move you up high enough, did I? I'm so sorry, Brian.
She's cutting you.
No, I'm not. I never know who's what. Lieutenant Brian Miller of the Police Department.
Present.
Fire Chief Johnny Tremaine. Here. EMS Director Bobby Mills. Here. Attorney Leslie Votaw.
Here.
Mayor Dennis Carr. And myself.
Any announcements?
I have a question, I guess it would be. I was wondering if we got the tree trimming quotes back yet?
They actually will be advertised in the paper Thursday.
Okay.
We had to get the package put together. In fact, that one and the fall crack 4 quotes will both be, they're at the paper now, but they'll be advertised Thursday.
And Aaron, it'll come back. They're due on the 6th, right?
Correct.
At the next meeting?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought I read.
Thank you.
Any more announcements? Hearing none, approved minutes of previous meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Committee reports. Fire Department Chief John Tremaine.
The only thing I have tonight, everybody should have a copy of a newsletter type document I handed out. And I'm going to try something new, try to get more information out to you all. And so hopefully by next meeting I'll have that in everybody's packet and review it before the meeting. And if you have any questions, bring it to me.
Have you got the OSI reports back in?
Not yet.
I haven't.
We ought to be getting it. It should be. That's all I have.
Okay. Lieutenant Brian Miller, Police Department.
Nothing to report, Mayor.
EMS Director Bobby Mills.
The Mayor, I got to run totals for August. We had 161.
Been busy. Building Inspector Carl.
No report, Mayor.
Did you expect one?
Moving on to new business. Mario Todd, miscellaneous concrete repair replacement.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to have the board's permission to go out for miscellaneous quotes for, or I should say quotes for miscellaneous concrete. This would include, I think James had our project over at Arch Street Park. This would include that also. But I'd like to have a cap not to exceed 15,000 on that. Hoping this would probably get us a little more competitive pricing.
Anything on the board? Entertain a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it.
That's all I have.
Okay. Mike Clark, Flyover Bridge Landscaping.
The flyover bridge.
US 50.
Westbound. You live here all your life, you never went to talk fire?
I've lived in the north end most of my life. I didn't know that was what it was called. I'm sorry.
When you go over next time, think flyover.
Okay.
Okay, the mayor asked me to look into getting some landscaping done in the 2 grass areas on each side of Tanner's Creek between the eastbound and the westbound lanes. We currently mow those and take care of them already. Contacted NDOT. We do have to get a permit from them. I got the applications, all the paperwork. I would like to get authorization to go ahead and quote this thing out to see what we can do, try to get it done yet this fall.
The whole idea is put some shrubs to make it look halfway decent to the concrete thing there.
What are you thinking about as far as when you say landscaping? Are you saying lots of plants, or are you thinking?
No, it's going to be low to no maintenance. It'll be evergreen, shrubberies, trees.
I'm going to do anything too.
Yeah, other than just maintaining a mulch bed around the plantings, there should be very low maintenance on these.
Your Honor, James, trying to get your attention.
Come to the podium.
I think that that's Jane Pope. I think that that's just one more landscaping expense that we can do without. I think the city maintains that area well. The grass is cut, it's weed-eated, it's trimmed, it looks nice, and grass is fine. You know, we don't need to go to another expense. As we're looking, as our revenue continues to fall, one more thing to maintain from year to year.
Not that big expense, Jane.
It looks good though, Mayor, the way it is.
It's halfway. From the board?
And you're going to get pricing then, Mike?
What the mayor and I talked about is to put a, not to exceed $10,000, $5,000 for each side for the installation, and then to accept proposals with individual designs and recommendations.
Anybody on the board?
I would so move with the not to exceed number.
What's the not to exceed number?
10,000.
10,000 total.
There a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it. Get close, Mike. Let's quiet down back there. Any more, Mike?
That's it.
Okay, old business? Hearing none. Review and discuss claims board approval.
So moved.
I got a question about one of these claims.
Go ahead.
These are claims for the Board of Works right here. The IEDC annual conference.
All that's training for,
That was Kelly.
Kelly.
Yeah, I seen this for Kelly and I looked it up. It's for, economic development, but her position's for marketing director, I thought, so. And that's for economic development.
It's further study for the, get a license.
For economic development?
Right.
I thought when we kept talking about the position, it kept saying marketing director, not economic development.
It is marketing director, but she does some economic development now too. Marketing.
To bring people in, you mean?
Right. Brings people in to build companies, whatever. Any more from board?
There's a motion on the floor. Didn't Mario? Mario, didn't you make the motion?
So moved.
Well, okay.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Aye, because of that one claim.
Passes.
Um,
Okay, motion adjournment?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Utility board, 5 minutes.
I told her if come Wednesday and
Oh.
she didn't see it up yet before, to make sure
Okay.
she called. She said she got hold of it.
I'll hold on to that.
Look at 1 through 17.
That was my biggest holdup. If you ever heard before, even you were here, that's marketing, only marketing. Want that back?
Yeah, I think
Let's see. This is this.
Yeah, I think we're.
Haven't seen you in a while.
Another month. Be normal.
Jackie, we have this?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, hold it out then. Was it just one?
Just one, they only have one
I don't
tonight.
remember, but I haven't, I'm not
No,
sure.
that I have that too, that's the only one. Connie told me there's only one.
Slab in there.
I said, okay.
Because that was my only holdup with the position the whole time was I wanted to separate the economic development.
The letter
from
just has
marketing.
those
If you
dates
get back
on
on
it.
all the old, that was my whole holdup the whole time. I wanted them to be separate, but
I don't think so.
guess it doesn't matter. I'm only one person. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Kelly.
You can't connect?
Oh, Boy Scout? Thank you.
Thank you. Good, how are you?
I think we should also announce that, the dedication of the Boy Scouts. Want to put that on here? 1 o'clock? Boy Scouts.
Somewhere, I don't know.
Yeah, Saturday, September 21st. At 1 o'clock.
Ready?
Whatever, oh, yeah.
Oh, utility board meeting order. Roll call, please.
Excuse me. Member Jane Pope? Present. Member Aaron Cook?
Here.
Member Bill Bruner?
Present.
Member Mike Lawrence?
Here.
Member J.R. Holcraft?
I'm here.
Attorney Leslie Votaw?
Here.
Mayor Carr?
Here.
And myself.
Any announcements? Hearing none, approve the minutes of previous meeting.
I'll move.
Second.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
All against? Committee reports? Have none. New business. Mayor? Yes.
I was looking, there was one issue with the minutes. On the first page, motion to approve recommendation to hire Mr. Michael Adams. Shows a motion and a second, and then says motion carried, but that's not correct.
It goes on to correct it on the second page.
Well, it just needs to
But
have
it's
that
wrong.
one motion carried,
Okay.
taken out.
Corrections due.
On the first page.
So I need another motion to approve them with the change.
Yeah. Need a motion to approve with change.
So move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Old business, Jeannie Felix, interim utility director.
Good evening. I'm here tonight to speak about the interim utility director. We had spoken about this previously. In your package, you'll see that's a packet from IMPA, which is the contract to hire any utility director. As of right now, we don't have one, and if we are able to even hire one tonight, after speaking with the candidates, the soonest the earliest that one would be able to start is 2 weeks. The longest amount of time that somebody told me is they wouldn't be able to start for 60 days. So we've got quite a window that needs to be filled with somebody in that position. I had been speaking with IMPA again about hiring a professional in that position, and actually I was speaking with them today, and I received some updated information. I know that the cost for this service is an issue, so I did ask them if they could come down on that hourly rate, and I did hear back from them today that they would. So I have an updated letter right here reflecting the hourly rate, which is now $93 an hour, which is down from the original $112 that's in your packet. So I'd like to ask the board for approval to utilize IMPA for this service.
How much is it now?
$93 an hour.
What happened with, I thought I was gonna look in about using somebody within.
I did look into that. I spoke with a representative with the union. As far as the bidding procedure, we don't believe that there has to be any bid put up because it's not a bid position. It would be somebody that would just be, bumped up for the interim. I did actually speak with 3 individual employees about this as well. One of them did tell me that they're not interested in doing it for the interim. And then the other 2, I requested information, because I know you guys have requested information as far as their skills and criteria, so either update a resume or some sort of qualifications, and I haven't received that from them.
So have you posted it?
No, it does not need to be posted.
Are there people?
If that's something that the board wants to do, we can go that route.
I did at the last meeting, that was what we wanted to do.
But
It should have been done.
It's not a union job. It's a non-union job.
Well, we knew it was a non-union job, and we knew it didn't have to be put up for bid, but we wanted it posted so that all the utility employees would have the chance to sign the sheet to maybe do the job.
It's not a union job.
I understand that. Do you hear what I just said?
Yeah, well, that would be the requirement for a union job.
So the other way to do it is just to communicate to them.
Correct. I mean, the thing is that this person, whoever stepped up, there's not a position in the union, and Mr. Steve, you can help me out on this, but there's not a position in the union that person could continue in the union if they stepped up. See what I'm saying? I mean, so that's the other problem.
It's been done in the past.
I don't know if it was done correctly in the past, so.
Steve, you want to comment on it?
Oh, sorry, Steve.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, Steve Puckett with the Machinist Union. Yeah, they can't, I mean, they would have to step down from the union. So it'd be pension and everything. I wouldn't think anybody'd be interested in doing that.
I mean, if it were, correct me if I'm wrong, if the utility director position was a union position right now, that could happen. There could be a way to do that, correct?
Then it would just be a bid position.
Right.
Right.
We've had mayors step down from the union to become mayor, to only not be mayor any longer, and then go back into the workforce.
Okay.
It would only be a temporary thing.
But they got to leave absence from the city council to do that.
Well, the utility workers should be able to do the same thing.
No, if there'd be anybody that would
Anybody
want
do
to.
that?
Well, if that's the case, what about, I know we farm our building inspector out to the city of Greendale. Maybe they would farm their utility director out, for him to oversee Lawrenceburg until somebody's hired.
I think the last meeting, the discussion was, at the end of it was, I know you requested information pertaining to all the possibilities of who would even be interested. But I didn't agree to say, yeah, we're going to hire this person. I think we said, I said that we wanted to see if there was any qualifications there to even
I
look at
agree
them.
with you. That's what.
But you just now said
But she didn't take action on it.
She did. She said she hasn't received the information back from the individuals. Am I correct?
3 people.
From 2 of the individuals. One of them told me they weren't interested, right. So I did reach out to them, yes.
Did you reach out to the whole utility crew?
No, just the 3 we were speaking about in the meeting.
Personally, I'm to the point where I think this is a pretty important position, and if it's 2 weeks to 60 days, I think I myself, I'm going to entertain a motion to move forward with Mel Davis as the interim.
At $93 per hour.
Yes.
There a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Okay. Wait a minute. Jane?
No.
Aaron?
As much as I might like Mel, I can't justify spending $93 an hour.
Okay. Bill is yes. Mike is no, right?
Yep.
JR is yes?
Yep.
It didn't pass. Okay.
I want to make a motion that we extend the offer out to the city of Greendale if they would, their utility director, would help oversee Lawrenceburg's as a temporary solution until we hire somebody.
What kind of pay?
That'd have to be negotiated and brought back to this board.
Well, they don't pay us for Carl's services, so we would ask that on a temporary basis, I don't think they'd have to pay for it.
I'll put in my motion if they would voluntarily have their utility director to oversee our operations until we hire a full-time person.
Your second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All against?
Aye.
Okay, roll call, please.
Jane?
Yes.
Aaron?
No.
Did you say no?
No.
Okay. Bill?
No.
Mike's a yes?
Yeah.
Okay, and JR?
Nope.
Okay.
Doesn't pass.
No.
Where we at now?
No director.
It's not, those two choices.
Huh?
Oh, those two choices.
What other choices?
Thank you.
People from within?
Yeah, until we get some money.
We're back to bringing somebody from in-house to step up temporary with the right to return to their job without losing any of their seniority or their union privileges.
They'd have to step out of the union.
They're gonna lose union
They're
time.
gonna lose union benefits right there. I don't think any of them would do it.
We can put it out there.
Put it out there, but I don't think any of them step out of the union to do it. Crazy.
How did they do it last time it happened for the guy that stepped in for 3 months?
Well, it wasn't done right at that time.
I don't know.
That's
I'm not
been
sure what happened.
4 mayors ago, I think.
Just FYI, the utility director does a lot of things that I don't think you all realize. There's a lot of guidelines, a lot of regulations that, there's a lot of reporting, and someone has to do it.
Mel will be the great guy to do it. He knows what's going on here and everything. You're not gonna have him out alone till you pick one. So.
And if you're worried about the money, I mean, the quicker we get a utility director, the quicker he leaves.
We could have voted for a utility director last time.
Well, here's my selections. Michael Adams, Owen Carlson, and Tracy Goodwin. You all got the applications. Pick one from them.
Question before, and I know our ordinance said 3. I argued that was our ordinance, and that's what we had to obey. It was argued against me, that was false. So now you pulled one of the 4. Just funny that it was the favorite of 2 people.
I think the ordinance says I pick 3 and you pick one out of that.
And today, you admit that, but for a month, that wasn't the case.
Well, we was wrong. When we found out we was wrong, we changed it.
How much was the city billed over that, arguing that I was wrong?
Who knows?
You don't know?
I don't know offhand.
Okay. And that would be $200 an hour, correct?
Probably so.
Okay.
We were submitted for resumes. I think we should still be submitted for resumes because that's the way it was introduced to us, and we should have the right to vote of one of the 4.
I'm good to go with the 3. I'm good.
The order says 3, I'll give my 3. Pick one from that 3.
And the difference was, Mike, it was just Section C. I thought Section C in total was not applicable. After speaking with an attorney, she said the sentence referring to the special master is what can be stricken. She said can be stricken. So then that's when I sent you the email and said, you know, we can't follow the sentence referring to the special master because we don't have one.
And at first, it was even told to me that the mayor would submit 3 new, or all could be new. And I said they was already submitted, and you said, no, those was given to you in good faith.
Well, and if you look at my email, I brought it from August 6th.
I'm good for the 3. He pulled out Mr.
Flick.
Can you remember his name?
Flick.
Mr. Flick. I'm fine with going with the 3.
You guys don't want to interview him?
It's Up to you, got their application, you wanna interview them? Interview
Well,
'em.
I listened to our HR director. She said they all interviewed great. They was all great candidates.
They all did interview very well. However, I do want to just make the suggestion to the board, since you're the ones ultimately making the decision, that an interview is pretty important. So I would recommend that you do interview them.
Or at least you can set up a time that they be available to come do that, correct?
Yeah, I can arrange that. That's no problem.
Well, if everybody's done with discussion, I'd like to make a motion. My selection is still in the running, I guess you'd call it, so I would make a motion to hire Olin Clausen and offer him the job for the Lawrenceburg Utility Director.
Got a motion?
Is that the
What
guy from
salary?
New Mexico?
Mm-hmm.
And what would be the salary offer?
I don't remember what it was. Remember what salary or?
I have it right here.
I do too.
I remember what that said. I'm just curious if Aaron's gonna put an offer.
Maybe start the discussions at, $85,000 per year, plus the benefits.
Okay.
I'll second that.
He was the gentleman
Wait a minute,
asking
hold
for
on.
110.
Okay, Mike second.
Okay.
Okay,
Got a
so,
motion, been
And-
second?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Jane, Mike seconded it, Suzanne. Jane, I'm sorry.
No, Mike seconded.
Yeah, I need your vote, dear.
Yes.
Okay. Aaron?
Yes.
Bill?
No.
Mike?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And JR?
No.
Okay, it's 3 yeses to 2 nos.
And I have a question. Can a couple of the board members sit in on the negotiation?
Sure.
Does it have to be less than the quorum? I'm just asking.
2 of them don't make a quorum, I think.
No. 3 of them would, but I'm just,
I mean, most of the negotiations, since this gentleman's in New Mexico, is gonna be by email and phone.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, as far as the phone conference.
I know that's not the amount that he wanted, but with the city having good benefits, that might persuade him to come.
Well, you two meet with Jenny, I'll step out of the negotiations for salary. You just knock it out.
Okay.
Does the
Get one in there.
board, will the board go ahead and nominate 2 people to do that? So we don't have to try to, I mean, we can know who we need to contact to arrange it?
I'm not interested. You want to, you can, I don't care.
Anybody interested in doing it?
I'll do it.
Mike's one, anybody else?
I mean, I'll do it if nobody else wants to, but
Okay,
that makes no difference to me.
make a motion for you two.
I make a motion that Mike and Aaron represent the utility board at the negotiations with Olin Clausen. Probably be phone conference, right?
Correct.
There a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Aye.
Roll call, please.
oh, I'm sorry. Jane?
Yes.
Aaron?
Yes.
Bill?
No.
Yes.
Mike?
And JR?
No.
Okay, it's 3 yeses.
Okay. Mike, arbitration hearing, 5/29/14.
Yeah, question on the arbitration hearing, which I guess would be more for Leslie. Did this board not have the right to represent itself at the arbitration hearing?
No. it
Did
didn't.
not?
No, it didn't. The union contract is, like, the labor agreement between the city and the union is what controls. And the agreement is between the city and the union, not the utility board and the union. You might have been potential witnesses, but the utility board is not a party to the contract,
Even though it's utilities?
even though it's utilities.
And it's okay that the people representing the city goes into the arbitration, board was wrong, don't agree with them, agree with the employee, need to be made whole.
I don't know as far as going in there and saying that. I don't, I mean,
I
all I
listened to the
know,
video.
all I know is that the mayor is the representative from the city. And Mr. Davis was there, and so was Miss Felix. And when, you know, when all three of them were there to represent the city, I don't know that there is nothing as far as a utility board representative, either in the union contract or anything in the law. The contract is the law. It was signed by council, it was signed by the Board of Works, and it was signed by the union.
What about the utility board? The utility board has no say over the utilities. That's what you're telling me.
No, what I'm saying is the utility board has no say over the employees. If you remember back when the board directed Mr. Davis to suspend Mr. Cunningham.
And I understand that part.
Well, that part wasn't right.
Speak.
That part wasn't right. That's where the grievance was won, because your powers are within that statute, which is I don't have that right in front of me, but the powers of the board do not include. You do not have any supervision or supervisory powers over the utility employees. Over the utilities, yes. But as far as the employees, that's the superintendent. That's the director of utilities.
Which the only thing I can say is, I don't think I can agree with you, but my hands are tied.
You must not have watched the video, Mike, or you would have known that, because in there at that meeting it said the utility director says that the utility board's realm of authority is budgetary procedures or a project that needs to be bid or voted on to proceed or not. That's the realm of their authority.
We have authority over the utility director to give him a directive.
But according to the union representative, we don't have that.
And I'm not sure where that information came from. I don't know where that information came from. I think when I was looking through all this, I do think it was Mr. Cook that said that you had talked to an attorney friend and they said that that was the case. I could never find anything, and the gentleman that we talked to concerning labor agreements and the union procedures couldn't find anything.
Yeah, so. I'm talking about what in the DVD, the union representative said this board did not have the right to even instruct the utility director to do that, but he did not represent the utility director.
And we do have that right as a utility board to give the utility director directives.
As far as concerning employees, no, I don't think you do. As far as running the utilities, absolutely.
I mean, because basically, no one was there to represent the utility board. Nobody even spoke up about the issue. So I watched the whole hearing.
Well, it's in his decision.
I mean, I can.
In the arbitrator's decision, it goes through the facts and it states exactly what happened as far as, you know, the whole procedure. I mean,
Is
so
that something in writing?
if that wasn't something that was on the tape, I don't know how the arbitrator came to his decision.
I have the written decision and the DVD.
I don't have the written decision.
Any more?
I mean, when the union referred to the board, they would to the arbitrator, they would keep saying city council. That might have confused the arbitrator as well, because it wasn't city council that made a decision. It was the utility board that was dealing with a utility issue. I mean, and they kept saying city council, and no one ever corrected them from that represented the city. Not the director, not the mayor, not the HR person. No one ever corrected to say that it wasn't city council. It was, at one time, Mrs. Felix said that they're acting as the utility board now during the video, but during the other 10 times they said nobody corrected him to the arbitrator, so that he might have been confused.
I mean, if I didn't think he was confused in reading the arbitrator's decision. I mean, he directly said it was the utility board. I don't know. I didn't look in there to see whether he said it was city council at any time, but I do know that he said it was city council sitting as the utility board, because it's the same people. Now, if there were different people on your utility board and your council, I could see the confusion, but it is 1.53 is the statute number as far as the powers of the.
What was that, Leslie? What?
1.53.
Point. 3, okay. Thank you.
Any more?
I mean, I have a few questions about it, I guess. I mean, I don't know if I'll get the correct answers, but who appoints the legal counsel for utility board? The mayor?
No, that would be the utility board.
So
When did this utility board vote for that?
When well, I don't know when you did with Mr. Votal, but
We didn't.
I never voted to hire
Okay,
attorney.
so the board votes on that. Okay, and the process, I'm just trying to get everything straight. So
I think that's the case. Like I
I
said,
don't know either.
I wasn't ever, when I took over for Mr. Votal, I don't know whether you guys actually appointed him or not, and I'd have to look at the ordinance on that, so I can do that.
I mean, I don't know what we didn't appoint anybody, but I don't know what the ordinance says, but, and so the process for hiring a utility director is for sure, the mayor selects 3 and the board chooses one of those 3.
That's what 32.088 says, minus the special master sentence, yes.
Okay. And then, the utility boards are, not, allowed to be present during arbitration hearing, following a grievance filed by an employee.
No, I didn't say that you couldn't be there. You could have been called as a witness and testified.
Because, I mean, I don't feel like the city was, no one said anything about what the situation was or, what exactly happened. I mean, all I heard was, people with agreeing with everything and just going through the motions. I mean, at least like 2 of us there, or 3 of us, whatever's allowed to be there at that point.
Any more?
We're allowed to hire our own attorney, let's do it.
Okay, review and discuss claims board approval.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Who made the motion?
Bill.
Okay, thank you.
Your second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Motion adjourned.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Council be 5 minutes.
Oh.
About ready.
Council.
What about this one? What about you down here every time? I know we can talk about, but what about every time?
Just traveling to
You had very good points. You should be doing found out we legally could. Put a motion out to hiring the representative city council. You and Greg get together and discuss things, and you're unhappy with it. Go from there. I think you'll be very pleased with I do, or we can find out.
Didn't even look.
I didn't go back on it yet.
Well, I just got it. Huh?
5 days.
First one in paper. Close right now. Once we get bigger and over each line item, we'll change up.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I didn't know, are they gonna finish up on the first? Too long. Before they start qualifying?
If they try to I agree.
Signed for the bill. Hey, what's Main Street budget for this year?
I want to say that it was, let me find my book.
Yeah,
I want to say
I
it's
can
300,000 or 300 and some thousand, I don't know for sure, but I can.
What's up, man?
Let me see.
Yeah,
I think, 300,000 is what's proposed. Yeah. It's under
He won't come
Riverboat?
down off what,
Okay.
375 or something like that.
right.
I want that corner to be around it so bad, but.
October 6th. Yeah.
Right, he wouldn't realize and saying, hey, it's not gonna happen.
Okay, let's not get too cheerful here.
What about just the corner building? You'd be interested in just selling that maybe?
That's true.
What about just the corner building? You think you'd be interested in just selling?
Hey, and
That way he would get some
Lawrenceburg,
money.
we're all walking around on top of the ground, so that's good too, that we're not under it.
So that would be the only action.
One's a rental.
Okay,
Right on the road.
It's just a nice.
okay.
Exactly. One thing.
I talked to a couple of mayors up north.
You know what I said? Second, the main entrance.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Ow.
That's where I heard that.
They said, whatever you get this year, get triple next year.
I'll talk to you.
A zombie? I am a zombie. I want to come dress up.
Yeah, I didn't know, and it was late, and I was like,
I'll be, I'm leaving. I'm supposed to be going on vacation that whole week. My vacation. Well, I took my boy to that racing that week.
I was just curious.
But kids are out of school those 2 weeks for fall. Well, we're supposed to be gone that weekend, but they're having a budget hearing Monday, so I can't go until Monday night after the hearing. So then,
I was just curious.
I know, it brings a bunch of people.
And I didn't want to call you that late. I figured you'd be in bed by then.
I don't know about the brain.
No, not at all. I promise. I had heard something, and, that he was back, and then I asked him, what was going on, because I didn't hear anything about it, so. Right. I didn't think it would be.
Here, let me
That kind of money.
That's okay. I forgot I have to sign it too. I'll keep, I got some of the other one here. I got the board of works here, so I'll just hang on to them.
Got there late. I had to get up there at about 10.
There was only one. Did you get, there's just one page? Okay, that's the one it is. But you can't keep too long, it's too late. They only have one seminary license for $3,007 to replace rescue.
Thank you.
That's okay. I assumed it was in the packets.
Unless I overlooked it. Maybe it's mixed in something, but I don't.
I don't have
New utility director.
I can overlook something on my desk.
New utility director.
No, it's not in there.
That's what. Oh, we do.
Oh, there, my gosh, I do have, I'm sorry. It must have stuck to my,
Yeah, it's stuck to the page in front of it.
well, actually, it is colored.
Oh, it is colored, okay.
I guess it stuck to my page.
Hold on a minute. No. Can't find the.
He still thinks he's gonna
Oh, there it is. First name. All right.
I got it. I'm better than those.
Calls council meeting order.
Oh, we're gonna do the
Oh, I
pledge.
got you pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Leslie, he gets out of whack and he forgets where he is.
That's yours, though.
Roll call?
Roll call, please.
Jane Pope.
Present.
Aaron Cook.
Here.
Bill Bruner.
Here.
Mike Lawrence.
Here.
J.R. Holdcraft.
Oh, I'm here.
Lieutenant Brian Miller.
Present.
Fire Chief Johnny Tremaine.
Here.
Bobby Mills.
Here.
Attorney Leslie Votaw.
Here.
Mayor Dennis Carr.
Here.
And myself.
Announcements?
In your packets, there was a notice posted Friday for the joint meeting between Lawrenceburg Conservancy District and City Council. It will be held on Wednesday, September 17th at 5 p.m. It is a public meeting.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I've got one. The Hyatt Palmer action agenda will be presented October 2nd at 7 p.m. at the Event Center.
Good.
The one other thing, and I believe everyone got, Kelly Will passed out invitations. There's also going to be a dedication to the Boy Scouts of Pioneer Hall on the 21st, it's the Sunday at 1 p.m. where you invite all of the city and all of the public to attend.
What time?
It's at 1 o'clock on the 21st.
Okay, thank you.
Any more announcements?
Yeah, I got one question here, Mayor. Something off my mind here. A question for Mike Lawrence. Seen you made your opinion that the mayor and there's 2 councilmen are cowards.
Actually, I said chicken shits.
Well, whatever. But I just want to see your reasoning behind that. And who's the 2 councilmen?
Because you and Bill seem to not want to show up for the loan committee meetings and take care of these delinquent loans.
Oh, you haven't missed any?
Loan meetings? I don't think so.
No meetings at all?
And plus, when it was canceled, there was 3 members going to have a meeting.
I wanted all the members be there, so it ran right.
So we're cowards and chicken shit, but you hiding behind a Facebook page writing on your own issues there, huh?
No, I put my name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure do.
On your own page.
Yeah.
Yep, you're a hero, buddy.
I don't have nothing to hide.
Good.
Good.
Just Leslie, what
it's
they
out there.
did by canceling that meeting was illegal. We had a quorum. We had 3 people that were ready to be present. We were called and told 2 councilmen decided to cancel the meeting. They did not have that right.
And we asked for that meeting.
Councilman?
That's what was told to me.
Listen here.
And it was agreed upon.
I hope to get a date from 2 other board members, and we can call a meeting and have it with or without them.
We already had it set.
Here's the thing, Jane, is on the meeting before the 28th, let's go back. There were 2 members there. That would have been yourself and Mr. Lawrence. You guys called a meeting without calling anyone else. I couldn't have made the meeting if I wanted to, because I would have been in Camp Kern. But
I don't recollect that.
Yeah, the meeting was on the 28th. That was the meeting I missed, for one. The meeting before, myself, Mr. Cook, and JR wasn't there. But you all, Mike and Jane, were there. You called a meeting, and again, from reading this...
We didn't call the meeting, it was posted.
Hold on,
Jane,
I'm talking. From reading this, it doesn't matter if we're there or not, because we're not going to get called anyway. So you wonder why meetings aren't attended. I think right there is the reason. Because no one cares if we're going to be there, but I was in Camp Kern, I couldn't have been there. But you wouldn't have known that because no one called.
There's meetings all the time scheduled that I'm not called about.
I never called a meeting,
You know what?
Bill. A meeting was set up.
Absolutely.
I have not called a meeting in months.
Again, if the communication in this there's a reason this council is so dysfunctional, because the communication chain, it doesn't go from that end to this end.
Well, for one thing, I did not call a meeting. A meeting was set up. And Leslie set it up, and Jackie set it up, and it only happened that me and Mr. Lawrence was available that night, and we showed up. We did not have a real meeting, but we had a discussion. I didn't call that meeting. If you didn't get notified by Leslie or by Jackie, that comes through them.
So I'm a coward, because I was at Camp Kearney.
I didn't call you nothing.
That says a lot about your character in the first place. It says a lot about your character. But again, it goes back to, if we want to have meetings, you know, I'm not afraid to have a lone meeting, not at all. I told you I was going to be late on the September 3rd meeting, okay? But again, I was going to be there. And I applaud the mayor for wanting all of the councilmen there. I think it's a good thing. And obviously, after reading this, and I don't Facebook, I'm glad someone brought it to my attention, but at this point, obviously, I'm not going to get a phone call. You know, District 3 is not going to be represented. Because people just don't care.
If I call a meeting, you will get a call, but Jackie and Leslie set up the meeting.
Ask for a meeting, then later I put, the meeting wasn't happening. I talked to a couple members about having a meeting, and then I checked into it, and I said, it's just not worth it. I'll put it on the agenda for tonight's meeting, for council.
Cowards. It just says a lot about your character. I mean, the communication.
I don't care what you think about my character.
Communication. The communication.
I'll let you talk.
This city council is going to continue to be dysfunctional because there's no communication. And I want to come to meetings. You know, I understand we're all going to miss meetings. It's going to happen. But, you know, I would like to think that I wanted there. You know, I would like to be there to represent, to speak, to put my 2 cents in. And again, it goes back, this goes way back. You know, I can recall showing up to meetings by myself. No one else showed up. This goes back to year 1. Did I get on the computer and call people cowards? No. Did it happen more than once when there were no-shows? Yeah, of course. I didn't call people cowards because I understand people have families, people have other things going on. But you know what? I just want the public to know that that's the truth. You know, I don't Facebook. You know, I talk face to face. And again, I think it's pretty low to get on Facebook and call someone a coward.
So what you have right there, you know, so be it. And you don't have to like me. I don't care what you think of me.
Any respect I had for you, Mike, it went out the window when I saw that. I've been called more names.
You don't have to respect me.
In the last 2 years and 8.5 months than I have in my lifetime. And that was it. That's the stopping point for me.
I don't need you to respect me.
And I'd like for you to verify that you came to a meeting and you were the only one that showed up.
Really? We had two rate meetings. Mel paid 2 utility rate meetings. Mel paid the gentleman. He paid the gentleman to come here because you guys don't want to look at our rates, yet they're in trouble. But that's beside the point. That's a whole nother conversation. But
actually, I was at a rate meeting.
I was too.
No, that was a council meeting that was brought up. That was at a council meeting. There was 2 rate meetings where Mr. I can't think of his name.
Scoff.
I was there. And there was one other councilman. And I think
I've been at a couple, but I don't know.
I think it might have been you. But honestly, I was the only one there at one of them, and the gentleman was paid. So you talk about wasting money. You know, that's just one instance. But so yeah, Jane, there were meetings.
The only time I've ever missed a meeting is the day my brother died, and I've been sick. I've missed 2 meetings.
False. Jane?
Regular council meetings. I don't know about your rate meetings.
In year one, there was probably 3 or 4 occasions where there was 3 people that didn't show up. That was you, Mike, and Doug.
And when
that was a regular council meeting.
And I was on vacation in Florida and told Jackie before I ever went out of town that I would not be there. That's going back to 2012, I believe.
It was on more than one occasion.
Does that make you a coward because you wasn't there then?
You say I'm a coward.
You're welcome.
Okay. Move on.
You're funny.
Oh.
All right, let's move on.
Okay, wait a minute. We've got to do this additional appropriation hearing. It's after 7 o'clock.
It's the third thing on the agenda, right?
Yeah.
Mayor.
And the ordinance is for this. We've got a notice to taxpayers on $1.3 million for the event center that we have to hold a public hearing on. Is there anyone here that wants to talk about that? No. Okay. Then we should go ahead and do the ordinance. Mayor? 2014, Leslie, shouldn't we? That's to do with it.
Yes.
Okay. Ordinance 12, 2014, ordinance appropriating gaming revenues. Whereas the Lawrenceburg Redevelopment Commission and the City of Lawrenceburg have entered into the Lawrenceburg Hotel and Event Center project agreement dated September 19, 2011, with the Indiana Gaming Company LP and Indiana Limited Partnership and a wholly owned subsidiary of Penn National Gaming, Inc., and the City of Lawrenceburg, Indiana, for the design, development, and construction of an approximate 180-room hotel, full-service restaurant, and event center on certain real estate owned by the Commission, including all necessary appurtenances and related improvements, including furniture, fixtures, and equipment as more fully set forth and described in the project agreement. Whereas, as a result of certain project enhancements, it is anticipated that the project will exceed the budget set forth in the project agreement by approximately $4.8 million. Whereas Indiana Gaming has been awarded a $3.5 million grant from the Regional Economic Grant Program, and this Common Council has agreed to make available up to $1.3 million of additional loan proceeds, whereas the city receives revenue from, 1, the admissions tax imposed pursuant to IC 43312, and 2, the wagering tax imposed pursuant to IC 43313, and whereas non-statutory payments are made to the city by the operator of the casino located in the city pursuant to the development agreement dated April 13, 1994, as amended by and between the city and Indiana Gaming. Whereas gaming tax revenues and operator payments are collectively referred to as gaming revenues, whereas pursuant to IC 36-1-8-9, gaming revenues may be used for any legal or corporate purpose of the city, whereas construction of the project will promote tourism and economic development in the city's downtown central business core, and the Redevelopment Commission, as the department of the city charged with the duty of promoting economic development and the use of land in the manner that best serves the city and its citizens, is the appropriate department to oversee construction of the project and the payment of project costs. Whereas the city shall appropriate, and transfer $1.3 million from its gaming revenues to the Redevelopment Commission for the additional loan, and whereas a notice of a public hearing on the appropriation of the gaming revenues was properly published in the Journal Press and the Dearborn County Register, and the proofs of publication were presented to the Common Council and placed in the records? No. Now therefore be it ordained that by the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg, Indiana, that Section 1, an appropriation in an amount not to exceed $1,300,000 is hereby made to one or more non-reverting funds of the Redevelopment Commission to provide the additional loan in an amount not to exceed $1,300,000, heretofore authorized that said appropriation be in addition to all other appropriations provided for in the existing budget and tax levy for the current year. Section 2, the clerk treasurer of the city is hereby authorized and directed to report and certify the additional appropriation to the Department of Local Government Finance. Section 3, this ordinance shall be in full force and effect upon its passage and approval by the mayor. Ordained and passed on the 15th day of September 2014 at 7:07 p.m. in accordance with applicable law by the Council of the City of Lawrenceburg, Dearborn County, Indiana.
Motion, first reading ordinance number 15.
One comment. The grant came out of the 10-county grant program, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And second question, the loan came from the loan committee.
Mm-hmm. As far
I'm
as
sorry?
I know. The loan came out of
from
the
the
loan?
loan committee.
Yes, I mean, it would have to, that's what you all decided, but yes. But the appropriation has to be done by council.
Okay, motion to approve the reading of ordinance 12, 2014.
I'll move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Motion to suspend the rules to read ordinance number 12, 2014, by title only for second time.
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Ordinance 12, 2014, ordinance appropriating gaming revenues.
Motion to approve ordinance number 12, 2014, second reading by title only.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion to suspend the rules, reading ordinance number 12, 2014, by title only, third and final reading.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it.
Ordinance 12, 2014, ordinance appropriating gaming revenues.
Motion to approve ordinance 12, 2014, with third and final reading.
I'll move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it.
Okay.
There you go, I got 2 copies. Check.
You got copies of it?
Yeah, sign there.
Oh, this is the one that, okay. Oh.
Leave that.
Here you go, Jack.
Excuse me. Oh, I got this one too, okay.
Okay, Jackie said transfer of funds.
No, we're not doing that.
No, doing that.
Tyler found another way to do it.
We can go back to Mr.
James Pope, 2015 budget.
I just wanted to make sure the budget was brought up, and it was, and I did know that before I put it on the ordinance.
Okay.
So, okay.
I mean, on the agenda.
What?
I did know that before I put it on the agenda.
Okay.
Okay, we gotta go back up to,
All Different Community Foundation.
oh, we didn't approve anything. Announcements or, we didn't, let me sign this.
Okay. Approval of minutes of a previous meeting.
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Okay, committee reports. Streets, alleys, and curbs, Aaron Cook.
No report.
Finance, jail, Holcraft.
Reports in the packet.
Fire Department, Bilbo Bruner.
No report.
Police Department.
No report.
Fire Chief John Tremaine.
The only thing I have, council should also have a copy of the newsletter that I'll try out for the next couple of months, try to get more information out to everybody.
EMS Director Bobby Mills.
Run reports ready.
Building Department Carl Fry.
No report, Mayor.
Let's go back to new business. David Twitty, Legion Foundation function. Kind of jumped around on you.
Yeah, sorry, David.
It's okay. Mayor, council members, everybody in attendance tonight's meeting. I'm the commander of the American Legion Post. This is the president of the Ladies Auxiliary, and we're here to first of all thank you for all the support you've given the American Legion over the years. Also, we want to invite you to an open house event that we're going to have October 18th starting at noon. 2 o'clock we're going to have live music. That's going to continue on into the evening with karaoke open to the public. And again, we just want to thank you for all the support that you've given us over the years.
Thank you.
What was
for
the
all
date
you
of that?
do.
And I'm not asking for any money.
Sir, what was that date?
October 18th.
October.
October
it?
18th.
Okay.
Yeah, October 18th, starting at 12 o'clock.
Okay.
All right? If you can make it, appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I might try to be there, Dave.
We'll be there all day.
It's a Saturday, I don't know.
Jackie, Dearborn County Foundation.
Okay, I had that. We only have one foundation grant. It's in Phase 1 up to $5,000. It's for the Sunman Area Life Squad to their rescue equipment upgrade. They requested $3,146, and the foundation recommends $3,146 to replace their rescue equipment. And this equipment will stabilize patients for transport and keep people safe at the emergency scenes. Sunman Area Life Squad has primary coverage for the all of northwestern Dearborn County. So.
Anything on the board?
Motion approved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Okay. Okay, solid waste management. I need an appointment from the council for this board. I'm the secretary of it. Will you give me an appointment?
I'll make a motion to appoint Aaron Cook.
Here a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Me tell me you're not gonna vote against it, Aaron?
Well, when you always
For the recycling, yeah.
Well, that's a different county.
This is definitely different.
That's a little bigger.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy it. It's a pretty good board. Okay, I'll put down your name. The meeting's this Thursday at 11 o'clock.
Is it seriously?
Seriously.
Now.
When is it normally, Mayor?
It's when you live.
Are you okay with it?
It's
You want me to send him a note so I can put my little hearts in that on
Yeah,
it?
no.
it's the third
Okay.
Thursdays of the month. 11 o'clock. We'll give you a schedule.
All right, thank you.
It's the third Thursday?
I think it is.
Okay, at 11?
If I don't have to mark it down, I wouldn't know.
Okay, I know. Okay.
I'll let you know then.
All right, thank you.
Is that correct, Mr. Todd?
I'm sorry.
Is it the third Thursday of the month? Solid waste?
I think it is.
You don't know?
It's a third.
It's this Thursday.
Well, that would be the third
It'll be the
Thursday.
third. Okay. Bill Will Bruner, meetings pertain to city business.
I think we covered that earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. Leslie Votal, capital assets ordinance.
On your packets, there is it's to add a whole chapter, actually 97, to Title 9 of the Lawrenceburg Code of Ordinances. This has to do with what we should have been doing for a long time. What this will do will give Jackie the correct property, plant, equipment, and capital assets that the city owns. Each department will have to report to her all of the machinery and equipment improvements other than building.
We probably have pretty much that.
Yeah, we have.
But anything new?
Anything new.
Or that we, dispose of?
We don't do it like we should do, that according to the State Board of Accounts and to the department, the DGLF. So this is a ordinance that was recommended to Jackie at one of her seminars. We did follow Angola's, and we looked at a couple other ones, but I hope you all had a chance to review it. I guess if you have any questions.
It'd be number.
Just the yearly inventory.
Basically, yes. And then how we will capitalize certain things, like for instance, a piece of land that you can also capitalize anything, including relocation, legal services, like title work, appraisal fees, so on and so forth. So it just gives us a guideline on how we capitalize things. We'll work with her accounting. Also, I believe there's something in Gateway that you actually
I have to do a report.
Yeah, a report.
Yeah.
So if you'd like me to go ahead and read it, I can.
Go ahead.
Amendment to ordinance title. Wait a minute. Oh,
It's going to be number 13, because we just did 12, Leslie.
Actually, at the very top, there's a typo. Cheezel Pete's.
Okay.
Amendment to ordinance to add Chapter 97 and Title 9 of Lawrenceburg Code of Ordinances. Whereas the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg has authority pursuant to its statutory and home rule powers to amend this ordinance, and whereas the Common Council now determines that amending the ordinances to include a fixed asset inventory and capitalization policy should be undertaken so the City of Lawrenceburg can account for and safeguard the significant investments of public dollars, to improve internal controls, and to verify account balances carried in the accounting records. Now therefore be it ordained by the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg that an amendment be made to the Lawrenceburg Code of Ordinances, Title 9, to add Chapter 97 entitled Capital Asset Inventory and Capitalization Policy to read as follows. Section 9701, definitions. For the purposes of the subchapter, the following definitions shall apply unless the context clearly indicates or requires a different meaning. Capital assets. Tangible assets of durable nature employed in the operating activities of the city and are relatively permanent and needed for the production of sale of goods or services are termed property, plant and equipment, and capital assets. This broad group is usually separated into classes according to the physical characteristics of the items. Capital outlays. Expenditures which benefit both the current and future fiscal periods. This includes costs of acquiring land or structures, construction or improvement of buildings, structures or other capital assets, and equipment purchases having an appreciable and calculable period of usefulness. These are expenditures resulting in the acquisition of or addition to the city's capital assets. Enterprise funds. Those funds used to account for operations that are financed and operated in a manner similar to private business enterprise, where the intent of the city is that the expenses, including depreciation and providing goods and service to the general public on a continuing basis, be financed or recovered primarily through user charges, or where the city has decided that periodic determination of revenues earned, expenses incurred, and/or net income is appropriate for capital maintenance, public policy, management control, accountability, and other purposes. The enterprise funds of the city include municipally owned water, wastewater, and electric utilities, and any other utility that may be established by the Common Council. Operation of these utilities shall require enterprise fund accounting and reporting. Historical costs. The cash equivalent price exchanged for goods or services at the date of acquisition. Land, buildings, and equipment are common examples of items recognized under the historical cost attribute. Tangible assets are assets that can be observed by one or more physical senses that may be seen and touched, and in some environments heard and smelled. Section 9702, land capitalization provisions. The city will capitalize all land purchases regardless of cost except land purchased outright as easements or rights of way for infrastructure. Examples of infrastructure include roads and streets, street lighting system, bridges, overpasses, sidewalks, curbs, street signs, and stormwater collection. B, the original cost of land will include the full value, including purchase price, relocation, legal services incidental to the purchase, including title, work, and opinion, appraisal and negotiation fees, surveying and cost for preparing the land for its intended purpose, including contractors and/or city workers' salaries and benefits, such as demolishing buildings, excavating, cleanup, and/or inspection. Sorry, that should say C.
Yeah.
Let's do that. The city will account for donated land at fair market value on the date of transfer plus any associated costs. D, land purchases made using federal or state funding will follow the above provisions. Section 9703, building capitalization provisions. The city will capitalize buildings at full cost with no subcategories for the cost of attachments. Examples of attachments are roofs, windows and doors, mechanical, plumbing, electrical, sprinkler systems, or any part of the basic building. The city will include the cost of items designed or purchased exclusively for the building. B, new buildings will be capitalized only if the new building meets the following conditions. 1, the total cost exceeds $5,000, and 2, the useful life is greater than 2 years. C, improvements or renovations to an existing building will be capitalized only if the result meets the following conditions. 1, the total cost exceeds $5,000 and the useful life is extended 2 or more years. D, capitalization of building costs will include the preparation of land for the building, architectural and engineering fees, accounting costs of material, and any cost directly attributable to the construction of a building. E, donated buildings will be recorded at fair market value on the date of transfer with any associated costs. And F, building purchases using federal or state funding will follow the above provisions. Section 9704, improvements other than building capitalization provisions. A, the city will capitalize improvements other than buildings attached or not easily removed that have a life expectancy of greater than 2 years. Examples include walks, parking areas and drives, golf cart paths, fencing, signs, retaining walls, pools, outside fountains, underground sprinkler systems, and other similar items on city property. Improvements do not include roads, streets, sidewalks, or assets that are of value only to the public. B, new improvements other than buildings will be capitalized if the new improvements meet the following conditions. 1, the total cost exceeds $5,000, and 2, the useful life is greater than 2 years. C, improvements or renovations to existing improvements other than buildings will be capitalized only if the result meets the following conditions. 1, the total cost exceeds $5,000, and 2, the useful life is extended 2 or more years. D, donated improvements will be recorded at fair market value on the date of transfer with any associated costs. And E, improvements other than building purchases using federal or state funding will follow the above provisions. Section 9705, machinery and equipment capitalization provisions. A, the city will capitalize machinery and equipment that is not part of a basic structure or building and that has a life expectancy of greater than 2 years. Examples include trucks, cars, machinery, furniture, computer equipment, and other similar items. B, new machinery and equipment will be capitalized only if the new machinery or equipment meets the following conditions. 1, the total cost exceeds $5,000, and 2, the useful life is greater than 2 years. C, improvements or renovations to an existing machinery or equipment will be capitalized only if the result meets the following conditions. 1, the total cost exceeds $5,000, and 2, the useful life is extended 2 or more years. D, capitalization of machinery and equipment costs will include shipping charges, consultant fees, and any other costs directly associated with the purchase, delivery, or setup, which makes such machinery or equipment operable for its intended purpose. E, donated machinery and equipment will be recorded at fair market value on the date of transfer with any associated costs. And F, machinery and equipment purchases using federal state funding will follow the above provisions. Section 9706, infrastructure capitalization provisions. A, the city will capitalize infrastructure that has a life expectancy of greater than 2 years. Examples include streets, bike jogging paths, storm sewers, sewer lines, parking lots, streetlights, and detention ponds. Infrastructure does not include sidewalks. New infrastructure will only be capitalized only if it meets the following conditions. 1, the total cost exceeds $5,000 and the useful life is greater than 2 years. Improvements or renovations to existing infrastructure will be capitalized only if the result meets the following conditions. The total cost exceeds $5,000 and the useful life is extended 2 or more years. D, maintenance repairs will be considered as necessary to maintain the existing asset and therefore not capitalized. For example, patching, resurfacing, snow removal, and the like are considered maintenance activities and will be expensed. Also, normal department operating activities such as feasibility studies will be expensed and not capitalized as an element of the infrastructure asset. E, donated infrastructure will be recorded at fair market value at the date of transfer with any associated costs. F, infrastructure purchases using federal or state funding will follow the above provisions. Section 9707, construction work in progress capitalization provisions. Where construction work has not been completed in the current calendar year, the cost of the project shall be recorded as construction work in progress. When the project is complete, the project will be recorded to the applicable capital asset account and only if the capital asset meets the required conditions. Section 9708, depreciation methods. A, the city will depreciate capital assets by using the straight line method. There will be no salvage value used. Depreciation will be calculated at year end. The asset current life year and ensuing depreciation shall begin the year after the year purchase. Example, the asset purchased in 2012, the 2013 current life and depreciation year is 1. Land is not depreciated according to general accepted accounting principles. B, straight line depreciation. All assets accounted for under the capital asset policy will be depreciated using the straight line method of depreciation. A gain or loss on disposal will be recorded. Following is a list of the most common useful lives. Asset, buildings, 50 years. Computer equipment, 5 years. Office equipment, 10 years, useful life. Furniture and fixtures, 20 years. Communications equipment, 10 years. Audio visual equipment, 15 years. Appliances and related minor equipment, 15 years. Small tools and related minor equipment, 20 years. Machinery and equipment, 20 years. Vehicles, 5 years. Police public safety equipment, 20 years. Fire public safety equipment, 20 years. Park equipment, 20 years. General miscellaneous, 20 years. Streets, roads, 20 years. Streetlights, 25 years. C, city utilities use of life are as follows. Water, building and improvements is 50 years. Transmission and distribution mains are 50 to 100 years. Meter is 30 years. Hydrants are 50 years. Laboratory equipment is 15 years. Wastewater, building and improvements is 50 years. Lift stations, 50 years. Sewers is 100 years. Treatment equipment is 50 years. Section 9709, recording and accounting method. A, the clerk treasurer shall maintain an asset register, a record of all capital outlays for capital assets and inventory as provided in this chapter and as prescribed by the State Board of Accounts. B, annually, all city departments will account and inventory all capital assets, noting additions and disposals and related information, and provide the information upon request to the clerk treasurer. C, for the purposes of recording capital assets and inventory, the valuation shall be based on historical costs or where the historical cost is indeterminable by estimation for those assets in existence. D, the clerk treasurer shall record acquisition of capital assets in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. When an asset is purchased for cash, the acquisition is recorded at the amount of cash paid, including all outlays related to the purchase and preparation for intended use. Assets may be acquired and recorded under a number of other arrangements, including 1, assets acquired for lump sum purchase price. 2, purchase by a deferred payment contract. 3, acquisition under a capital lease. 4, acquisition by exchange of non-monetary assets. 5, acquisition by issuance of securities. 6, acquisition by self-construction. And 7, acquisition by donation or discovery. Ordained and passed on the 15th day of September 2014 at 7:20.
I put 7:30, okay.
7:30.
Whatever.
7:30 p.m.
It's what number? It's 13-2014.
Okay, most approved, first reading.
No, it's not. Jackie, is it?
What?
I mean, it's an amendment to the ordinance, so you said before we weren't going to number those. Do you want to number?
Well, I thought that's what you said today. I don't care.
I think,
Okay,
that's one thing we've had. I had to look for an amendment recently. I'm sorry, this is kind of a sidebar. It was hard because traditionally we never gave a number to any of our amendments. I do think that it would be helpful for trying to find things if we numbered them.
So then it's 13.
So you want to go ahead and number under the ordinances? Okay.
Fine. 13, yeah.
Okay, most approved, first reading, ordinance number 13, 2014.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All good. Motion to suspend the rules, read ordinance number 13, 2014 by title, second time.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, that would be amendment to ordinance to add chapter 97 and title 9 of Lawrenceburg Code of Ordinances.
Most approved ordinance 13, 2014 for second reading, title only. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to suspend the rules, read ordinance number 13, 2014 by title only, third and final reading.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Amendment to ordinance to add chapter 97 and title 9 of Lawrenceburg Code of Ordinances.
Motion to approve ordinance number 13, 2014 for the third and final reading.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, I only have one of those. Jackie, I'll make sure I get a copy. back to
Okay.
you.
Wait a minute. What if I don't want to attest you?
Just one on.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank all of you. And we'll get the forms together to get to your city departments. There were some suggested forms by the State Board of Accounts, so we'll make sure that we have those to be able to give to everybody.
Somewhere I have that one, the one.
Okay.
Oh,
So we got
yeah, I
old
was,
business, Leslie Votal, ordinance review.
is that the one on parking?
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
parking. And I just put this in here because, well, after I realized I put it in the packets, I realized that Parks doesn't meet until October 6th. So this is just for your review. But I wanted to point out, if you see Chapter 75 in Title 7, it's amended to add Vine Street and describe between High and Williams, which is Zone A, which is the 2-hour parking. The second section is 7208 of Chapter 72 of the Lawrenceburg City Code. That is the permitting section, the one where we're supposed to give permits to, I don't even know, it was just the city residents, right? Wasn't that what it was? That's not being used, it's not being implemented. I mean, you can look at it, that's the reason I wanted to point it out there tonight, so you can look at it and make sure. But I looked through the whole thing, and it does not seem to be applicable at this point, so I would suggest that be repealed in its entirety. But just wanted to give this to you.
Section 2?
Yeah, it's on here, it's 7208. So if you could look at that for the next Parks meeting, that'd be great.
Mike Lawrence.
I listed the loans, some of the loans at least, that are behind.
You guys approve this.
With the city of Lawrenceburg. And I want to have a discussion on them and see about taking action.
We can't do that, Mike.
Like the credit card.
I think, well, there's at least, council can bring up and have a discussion on any city business. If the city attorney doesn't feel that the council can take action, that'd be up to her.
You know, and when we first started talking about this, Mike, I pulled the approval process, the committee. I always thought that you all, as the revolving loan committee, had to get council's approval, but that's not what was passed. The revolving loan committee, because it's council, I believe that's why we put it, following any executive session, can then convene as a public meeting and make those decisions. It does obviously talk about approval, denial, or disapproval, or tabling any kind of loan request. Obviously, these guidelines do not call for reviewing old loans. I mean, that's not part of our guidelines. But we did not notice this meeting tonight as a revolving loan fund committee meeting. That would be my only concern. If we had noticed it as, you know, as one, I do think we could probably have, you know, discuss this. But however you guys want to proceed, my opinion is, I think when we're talking, and like I said, I think it would have been different if you guys were supposed to, according to these approval process, you're supposed to come back to council, but that's not the case. The committee is the one that takes action on approval or disapproval. So
is it your legal opinion then that we can't discuss these and take action, or?
I mean, I don't think we have a problem discussing them, but as far as taking a vote, yes, definitely. Because, like I said, this was not noticed out, the public has no notice that this was a revolving loan fund committee meeting, because it was never noticed that way.
I think also, if we were going to discuss them, you know, it should have been advertised, and all of the individuals listed should have been notified so that they can be here to represent themselves, ask questions, or in fact just listen.
So, okay. If don't want to have a discussion, I just want the public to know, just the ones I'm looking at, around $5 million. That's either not being paid or interest only. And that's just part of the loans. A lot of the maturity dates, some of them go back to 2011. One loan's owed over $3.1 million. And I just want to take action to do something about securing the city's interest and to go after the properties. So I want the citizens to be aware of it.
Why don't you guys set a date for a meeting where everybody can make it?
Sounds good to me.
You're all here.
Well, we're gonna set a date up right now where everybody can make it, where the whole board can be here.
The other thing is, and I talked with Mr., just a clarification, as far as what was done in the meeting, concerning the tax sale. in reviewing the amount of properties, I think we came up with a number of 11. Is that what you remember?
I believe so.
Well, when I went through.
Of the Lawrenceburg properties.
Yeah, Lawrenceburg only.
Hmm.
Well, I only came up with 9. So I have a list, and if afterwards you all could look at it and let me know exactly, because that's this Thursday. So I want to make sure we're bidding on the correct ones.
Well, actually, for the Linkmeyer development, on the taxes, I would like to put a motion out to go ahead and purchase all of them, including if anything's in Aurora or Greendale, to secure our interest.
We already did that once at the loan.
Actually, I just made the motion to purchase the ones in Lawrenceburg.
Yeah,
I'd like to make a motion to purchase the additional that's in Aurora and Greendale.
Okay, hold on just a second. Where's my list?
And I believe there was 1 or 2 on there that I think says Aurora, but
Correct.
by researching, I think it's actually Lawrenceburg and it butts up to Aurora Lumber. I think that might be Lawrenceburg properties.
Yeah, those were the 2 that I didn't, like I said, the motion was, which passed, was just for the Lawrenceburg properties, besides the 2 that were in West Harrison. I only counted 9, but with the 2 in Aurora, that would be 11.
I think those might actually be Lawrenceburg properties.
But as far as your motion, Mike, I mean, if we're not convened as a revolving loan fund, because that's where the money's coming from.
So
I don't know.
council, you're saying can't buy the additional properties for the taxes at the tax sale?
I mean, I guess I don't know. Like I said, I don't think it's a properly convened meeting because we didn't notice it as a revolving loan fund committee meeting. If you had the okay from that board, and I understand it's the same board, but if you look at it, how I looked at it was, what if there was just one person that wasn't on council that was on that board? You wouldn't be able to have a meeting now. Because that
He's
person
not
wouldn't be
asking
here.
that. He's
I
not
know,
asking
but-
if the revolving loan
Asking
committee
can
cancel
The council
purchase
those remaining
Oh, I
properties.
see what you're saying. Do you understand that those are the most expensive ones on the,
I'm just looking at securing our interest.
okay. There's a question, it looks like, Mayor.
Come up to the podium, please.
I was just wondering if you could tell us what you're talking about.
You need to give me your name, please.
Vicki
And then-
Dollar.
Who?
Vicki Dollar.
Okay, thank you.
Could you tell us that are out here what you're talking about in specifics for loans?
They're commercial loans. You want company names or? Company names? I
If
see
you're allowed
somebody-
to.
They're on the
Yeah,
agenda.
They're public loans, with public funds.
Okay.
Linkmeyer Development 2 LLC.
That's on
The number that's given to me on this sheet is $3,150,307.11. It would be more than that now because of interest. Then there's one under the Steve Linkmeyer, $119,231.32. Poppy Inc., $250,878.90. Jets Properties LLC, $320,320.84. Eason Holdings LLC, $225,475.96. BF Mess LLC / Dorman Properties LLC, $1,364,039.83. And BF Mess LLC for $225,730.88. And all those figures would probably be more today because of interest.
Thank you. As a homeowner that got concrete and I owed money to the city for that, are the same protocols met with the people that are owing a lot more money than most of us are? The people that you just mentioned are probably hundreds of thousands of dollars that they owe the city. But those of us that owed money for concrete, I know it's a lot less money and a lot less emotion in it, but why are they different?
The reason, the revolving loan fund was basically defunct for a while. We were able to finally get an ordinance passed to work on these issues in 2013, in December of 2013. So as far as a board to hear those issues, that just got established. We have been trying since the beginning of the year. We had
When was that established?
we had Umball come in and analyze all of them, give us our balances, and so on and so forth. And so that's where we are now. We've had approximately 2 full meetings, I believe. So, at that time, of the second meeting, after the first meeting, I sent letters out at that point to everyone and told them that, you know, hey, the revolving loan fund committee is now reestablished, and we will be dealing with these. So.
Leslie, what's the date on that was passed?
December 3rd, I believe.
Since December?
2nd.
There's been 2 meetings, I guess.
Well, as property owners, we were able to be tracked down pretty quickly and serve papers and whatever. But there are a lot less in numbers for the people that own the property that you're discussing, that owe millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yes.
Why is there so much work involved to get them to do the same steps in money that's owed?
See, the thing is when we first came into office in 2012, the revolving loan committee, the fund, it was shut down. And for an obscene amount of time, we have been unable to come to an agreement on an ordinance that says, okay, we can operate. Okay? So in the meantime, over that course of time, maturity dates have passed. I mean, a lot of things have went on that us as a board are, you know, basically it's our issue. You know, we haven't given it the attention that I think we should have, and here we are finally after, you know, almost 3 years getting, I should say, we're getting all the numbers, getting everything together. So as a board, I mean, you know, I'll take responsibility too, but as a board, we've been irresponsible and we've let it go. We haven't been able to come to a decision to take action, to make things happen, and to be honest, there's a lot of numbers, there's a lot of paperwork, there's contracts, agreements. It's not like getting concrete per se. There's a lot of in these agreements. There's a lot of different things. You know, you have to have this many employees. You have to do this. You have to do that. You know, with the concrete, it's okay. You're going to pay your money back. So, and at the end of the day, yeah, we want our money. But again, you know, it comes back to this board. We've been unable to reach an agreement with each other to make it happen. Does that make sense?
Not really. Okay.
Well, I mean, for almost 3 years, we couldn't come to an agreement to work on the loans, to look at the loans. I don't know any other way to put it.
I understand that, but with you as a group not agreeing to be able to go after those people.
We weren't established.
Okay.
We weren't established. It was put on hold. We weren't operating. I don't know any other way to put it.
So now, because of the time factor, are these people going to be able to get out of paying their loans?
No, the whole, my idea of, and Mr. Hughes put together a very good agreement, a contract, something to go by to work with these people and to say, okay, if your maturity date's passed, we want to renegotiate your loan. We want to give you maybe a higher interest rate. Even talk to them and just say, hey, can you make the payment? If so, let's get an agreement together and let's make it happen. And obviously, if you talk to one that says, hey, I'm out, I can't pay, then obviously we take action. So, but that agreement that he put out, once again, we couldn't agree to do it. We couldn't come to an agreement up here to make it happen. So I think in a nutshell, that agreement was an excellent agreement. It would have put in professionals at the helm, and it probably would have been done a long, long time ago. But unfortunately, this is where we're at.
Is there a time frame now for everybody to pursue everything?
Again, when we have a meeting, say tonight, if we were going to have a loan meeting, you need to advertise it, and I would hope that you would invite the people that have the loans to discuss with them, so they can discuss with you, so we'll know where they stand, so on and so forth. So, I mean, I don't know any other way to put it. We just.
Well, I know it's different from a commercial business loan, as they have, versus homeowners with concrete loans or agreements to pay. But at the same time, I feel as if the upper people that are owing the city hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars are being treated a lot more gingerly than we are as homeowners.
Oh, I guess the other thing is too, on the concrete programs, we had Dina Baker who kept track of all of that. When these loans were done, they were thrown in the clerk treasurer's lap, and she was expected to run the loan program, and that's not feasible either. I mean, with everything else she does. But with Dina Baker and the concrete, to answer your question about the concrete, she, once we were able to decipher who's paying and who's not, this council, as council, voted to pursue certain accounts, and we did. That was at the beginning of, I want to say beginning of 13, right? I'm not sure exactly when you guys voted to do that, but that's how that came to fruition. So
I promise you, one way or the other, that once we sit down and talk, there's either going to be people paying or we're taking action. That's the only two options at the end of the day. There is no, oh, it's okay, you don't have to pay your money back. It's either they're going to pay or we're filing. We're going to take action. So I don't know if that makes you feel any better, but we're
well, just to know that the other people, for a lack of a better term, on the higher scale, are not above being pursued to pay what they owe. Also, on the concrete debts, I have heard that some people have had their concrete bill annulled or wiped out because of the issues, whether it cracked or whether for certain aesthetic issues, if you were dealing with a normal company other than a city contract that has O'Mara working for them, if somebody had an issue with the way their concrete was done and they're not happy with the results, from what I understand, some people have had their bill nulled. And other people that might have the same issue but have never approached a city member, council member, they continue to pay their bills.
I think Mario can answer that question for you.
Yeah, the ones you're saying that either got a deduction or part of their bill got paid, it was actually paid by the contractor. I think we have all the records for those deductions.
Yeah, as far as aesthetics, no. I mean, there was
I don't
one
have
issue.
records of the ones that, if they paid them. Showing proof. I did request at that meeting
And
For
you never
proof,
received
I
it?
never got proof that the contractor paid for any.
But as far as aesthetics, no. The ones I can remember, there was one that had a engineering problem as far as how the contractor did a cul-de-sac or a curb cut or something along those lines.
Well, again, there's records where they've, I think I got a check yet, in the last year, that put them pretty well in the clear.
I do know that there was one in particular, and I don't know if this is the gentleman you're speaking of. That one's still not resolved.
I honestly do not know names.
And that's still not resolved, so.
I don't know names of property owners, but I have heard that there are certain people that have complained about their concrete cracking or whatever, and that they've complained and have had their slate wiped clean.
I don't know of any off the top of my head.
The only person I can remember that came before the board, and there might have been another, but the only one I can remember is the one on Clinic.
Mr. Gert.
Mm-hmm.
No, anything that had to deduct and I say O'Mara, there's been other contractors also that paid the difference. That or redone the concrete.
Oh, that was going to be my next question. If somebody has a discrepancy with the work or the job or the way the concrete turned out, for the most part, most companies will dig up the concrete and redo it. But from my understanding, there's some places, some homeowners here in Lawrenceburg that they've just had their bill turned back to zero, that they don't owe anything.
You can tell me a particular property, I can let you know, but without particulars.
There's still concrete, claims out there. It's not closed yet.
Well, I'd like to get a record of what the contractors paid, how much for each address it was paid for.
You can direct that to Kelly Kime. She's taking care of that.
Well, actually, I'm putting it on record here.
Well, basically, it's just very disheartening to be a smaller person.
Contractors paid per address.
Okay.
And know that the bigger person is still out there, owing money but not being pursued because you don't have time.
And ma'am, I will tell you, there's one of these loans over $3 million, hasn't made a payment in over 2 years.
Wow.
And we've been in office for almost 3. So again.
And it's probably been close to that.
This board.
Well, I understand that everybody was pretty well dropped into a situation, but it's been a long time.
Absolutely. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
You may tell her the difference, though it's the same faces, there is 2 different boards.
Yeah, well, I mean, I told her that as the board, we've never been able to agree. And there's been many different avenues that we've talked about, different things put forth, and we just never could agree. And, thank goodness we're finally to the point where we're there, but now it's
I
just
totally
about
understand that, but I think as homeowners that a lot of us, if we were in the same situation, we'd be overlooked and nobody would say that we cannot agree upon it, so it's being overlooked.
Well, the thing is, ma'am, if, by all means, if you had an issue with your concrete, it's like buying a car. If you had an issue with your car, you'd probably take it back or you'd probably call a salesman. Mr. Gherkin came to our meeting and said he'd been trying to contact us for multiple years, if I remember right. And City Hall is easy to find. So, just a little food for thought.
Mine's not a problem with the concrete, it's just a problem with the upper scale getting away with owing money and lower scale.
As a board member, all I can say is we're working on it.
Okay, thank you.
If I could say something to Leslie, on record, I would like to request your written legal opinion of why the council cannot discuss, cannot take action, and pursue collecting the money owed to the city on these loans. And I'd like that in writing, please.
Say it again, Mike.
Of why council cannot take action on these loans and take action to collect or foreclose. Which one of these, I was told over 2 years ago, oh, that'd take 2 years to foreclose. Well, we're over 2 years later, we ain't nowhere.
Because we haven't done anything on it.
Well, I'm asking for a written legal opinion, why this council cannot.
Okay, I got a question then. So, why can't council do all redevelopment's business? Is it because it's a different board?
There's a state
Can we take
statute
action for that?
There's not a state statute for loan
We have
committee.
an ordinance. There's a loan committee and city council.
I didn't say there was an ordinance or not an ordinance. I'm asking for a written legal opinion. Why council?
Right, we fought for almost 3 years.
And during that whole time, it was told to me that council could not take action. So I would like that written legal opinion. It's not a big deal. I mean, I'm just asking for the attorney's written legal opinion in writing, so I have it, that shows that council cannot do it and why.
Okay, let's set up a date for this.
Mayor, I would like to go ahead and council, because we won't have time to set up a meeting before the tax sales, will we, Leslie?
No, it's Thursday.
Oh, it's Thursday. No time now.
Why council cannot go ahead and give Leslie to purchase that property and then send it back to the loan committee to accept council's, to buy them back from council or whatever we plan on doing with them, to get them back into the revolving loan committee, because we got to act on that. We don't want to lose those two major properties. Can we legally go ahead and purchase them through council?
There'll have to be an additional appropriation unless you got $50,000. 31,000 is one and 20,000 is another.
I think
Jackie,
city marketing has got plenty.
Yeah,
for that.
city marketing. We just need to act on that. That's another thing, you know, we can get into details here, but if we don't move on this and get these properties purchased, we're gonna lose them. And they're two great assets. And then we could have the revolving loan committee or wherever the money's coming from for that to buy those other properties on back taxes, reimburse city council or whatever, redevelopment.
Motion that passed the revolving loan was all Lawrenceburg properties, and that would include 9 of them.
Is the city allowed to purchase property on its own?
All Lawrenceburg properties, wouldn't they be?
Anybody can purchase it, can't they, Leslie?
I don't know, I thought that maybe is why redevelopment was set up, I wasn't sure.
Even though they're listed, if, Mike said he researched it and they're actually in Lawrenceburg, wouldn't
By
that
looking
fall?
at Beacon,
That would fall under all properties, wouldn't it?
It says, yeah, I mean, US 50 West left on Sycamore Estates Drive, Aurora. I mean, that's how they had, the Indiana tax sale system has them listed as Aurora. That was why I didn't include any of the ones in Aurora.
Can we do that, though?
I mean, there really is enough time to, post it. If you want to meet early on Thursday, or for a few minutes
And
to make it.
Thursday is the tax sale.
Wouldn't the motion cover it, though? That we did in the revolving loan committee meeting?
because and the most valuable pieces, I mean, are the condos probably in Greendale.
See, we're agreeing to agree. Can we get it through, Leslie?
If you can't, 48 hours would be Wednesday night. So if we met Thursday morning early.
Well, we already have a meeting with LCD on Wednesday night. You wanted to do that?
It would just have to be after 8 o'clock, though.
Yeah,
What-
right after that meeting.
What time does the tax sale start?
10 a.m.
Okay, I didn't know.
You're right. It would have to be.
Time to advertise it?
We just need 48 hours for
Today's Monday.
special meeting.
It'll be Wednesday night after 8 o'clock.
I just need 48 hours.
Well, then you can do what you want with it.
That would be 8 o'clock on Wednesday night.
Is that all right, everybody?
Wednesday at 8.
Or if you met Thursday morning first thing or whatever.
It'd be better Wednesday.
Be better Wednesday, you're already there anyway.
What is that date?
17th.
Thursday's the 18th.
And we have a meeting that,
Oh, I'm sorry.
LCD on.
The 17th, which is Wednesday, is a meeting with
5 o'clock.
LCD.
Just do it right after
Wait for 3
LCD
hours.
meeting. Is that all right, everybody?
How long?
Eat dinner.
it's all right with me.
Aaron?
Yeah, it's fine.
Bill?
Yep.
Mike?
I'm good.
JR?
Right after Wednesday's meeting, right?
Right after Wednesday's meeting.
Well, sometime after, yes.
Yeah.
And now, is that going to be, the loan committee's going to meet? Or who's,
the
loan
loan
committee, okay.
And the other question is, when can Jackie post it?
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
say,
the-
she can't post it. She can't post it tonight.
No, I can't post it till tomorrow morning.
It would have to be
Tuesday.
Thursday morning then,
Thursday
unless
morning,
you
wouldn't-
can find out if those are in Lawrenceburg or not.
And then also, isn't there,
Why can't you
something for
post it
emergency?
tonight? It has to be during business hours that you post something?
I don't know. If I'm going to post it, I'm going to go now.
That's what I'm saying, if you could post it tonight.
But there's going to be,
Under the emergency provisions,
Good. That's what I was just thinking.
Erica,
meeting is called to deal with an emergency involving actual or threatened injury to person or property, or actual or threatened disruption of governmental activity.
Let me see that again. I read it earlier, but
well, technically though, Jane, too, the paper and the radio station, the people that should get the notices wouldn't get them till tomorrow morning anyway. Even if I went
Business
hours.
yeah.
but the
Okay.
emergency,
Threatened,
it
actual
could
or
say,
threatened injury
But the
to
emergency.
person or property.
Or governmental activity.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
tax sale, what kind of governmental
Yes, it would.
So she could go ahead and post it and get it to you under that.
It could be called as an emergency meeting.
We would have to make sure that's on the, at the top there, emergency meeting of the revolving loan committee. Thank you.
And Jackie, would you please do that tonight and then give the information to her tomorrow morning?
No, she can go ahead and do that tomorrow morning, first thing.
As an emergency?
As an emergency. We don't
Okay.
have to do the 48 hours.
Oh, okay. That's Tuesdays
And it
tomorrow.
would be the revolving loan committee, revolving loan fund committee.
And then
Yeah, post it this evening.
taking anybody to
No.
call it an emergency.
It has,
Saying I can do it in the morning.
no, it wouldn't be tonight. because
She
it has
does not have
during
to do it
business hours.
tonight?
It has to be during business hours, Jane. This is not a business hour.
But if it's
Yeah.
called an emergency, since it would be a disruption of governmental activity.
I don't know.
What time you open, Erica?
As long as it's fast.
Thank you very much, Erica.
I'll send it to you. So that's going to be Wednesday after the other meeting, right?
Yes, we'll go ahead and put, yeah, we have to do set a time.
The other meeting's at 5 o'clock.
So let's say, what do you think it'll take?
I don't
The
know.
LCD meeting?
She's saying we'll have it
Hour.
before at 4:55. It'd only take us 5 minutes to do a vote.
For 4:59.
Yeah, we could do it, you could do it before.
4:30, can you make it at 4:30?
That's,
Everybody made it 4:30?
4:45?
Yeah.
4:30 would be fine with me.
Is
Everybody's
4:30
at
okay
5,
with
4:30,
you?
everybody?
Yeah, that's good.
I'll be here.
Is it okay
Okay.
for you, Aaron?
Wednesday at 4:30. And make sure it says, Leslie, it's an emergency meeting.
Yeah, I'll come over in the morning.
Okay.
We'll go through the wording.
Okay,
Maybe we'll get somewhere, that's good. Okay, is that it on this?
okay.
And Leslie, will you also look into any other property that we may want to acquire that's outside of the city of Lawrenceburg?
Yeah, either outside or inside. There was one other one that I wanted to ask you all about, so that's fine, we will.
Okay,
Thank you.
is that it on this?
Well, I had partial lien release on 2 pieces of property that was done by the ex-mayor and was notarized by the city attorney.
I found the minutes where they were going to release that, where the board said to release it.
So you found it?
I found one of them. I don't know if it's all of it or, and,
Because I'd requested once before and they said there was no.
well, but then when you said something to me about it, I went and looked and I found it in the loan minutes. Well, I didn't find it. I had somebody else find it.
So from, the board voted to do it?
There was a motion in the minutes, yeah, that the board would go ahead and release that because if they did something about it, if they didn't release it, they wouldn't be able to do what they wanted to do.
Okay, I'd like to,
But I can get that to you.
yeah, I'd like to get that. One was where Interpack sits and one where Waterview Apartments.
And I don't know
I was
which one.
told that the reason they did it was because they were secure in the other parcels that they had a mortgage on. In order to borrow money to build either building, the property had to be free and clear, because the mortgage company wasn't gonna come be a junior lien, on, well, I don't know how much Interpack, but I know, how much was that building? It was, you remember how much the project was? But that was the reasoning, because, and they felt that they were secure in the other parcels, the mortgages that we did have, so.
But there has to be a board, the board had to vote to do it. And that's, I'm asking again then, for a copy of those minutes, if you say you have them.
I think I know I saw it today over there on my table.
Okay.
It's just one page, but the page is the part that has the date of when it was, who it was, and the motion. I will get that to you.
And then also the approving those minutes.
Okay.
And if we could have that by the meeting Thursday, or Wednesday.
I'll have to look for the approval of the minutes, but I'm pretty sure I've got the copy where I can grab it tomorrow.
Yeah. And my other thing was, in our discussion, I also asked about, there was a $2 million grant that was given for Project Vessel / Interpack Linkmeyer Development. For that project, I think $1 million went to Interpack, $1 million went to Linkmeyer to pay down what was told to me back then, to pay down the lease, so it's more affordable for Interpack. In that discussion, talked about nobody acted like they knew anything about it or had anything, which at one time I'd seen it from Mike Rozzo. I went to the chamber and talked to them there. They sent me to Miss Ewan. She said she searched, she can't find anything. I do have a document and some of my stuff I have on the loan that shows that I got from the city, the $2 million, but I want to see who it went to, what the agreement was, if that agreement was followed, if they have the right amount of employees, blah, blah, blah.
So you don't have a copy of the agreement?
I don't have a copy of the agreement.
No, I thought you said last time you did have a copy.
I thought I did, but if I did, I can't find it, but I know I seen it. Mike Rozzo showed it to me in his office.
Because when we asked Rozzo and sent him the subpoena from the federal authorities, they said they didn't have it. Connie asked and I asked. So,
and I
yeah.
did contact him along with his person that worked under him, and neither one of them, they, said it was there when they left.
No, it wasn't. I mean, then they were untruthful under a federal subpoena. I mean, the subpoena wasn't to them. It was under us, and yeah, that's
But surely there's records of $2 million going out, and who it went to.
In a grant?
We have those records. Connie was able to find where they asked for them, but the development agreement, when we did a thorough search of the records for the federal authorities, we went to Rozzo and to Mr. Kunkel. I believe that was his name, right?
Paul.
And they said they didn't have it. So they told you that they did have it?
Well, they said it was there at their old office when they left.
Well, they weren't gone when I asked them. They were still there. Mr. Rozzo and Mr. Kunkel were still working there when I asked them.
Because I can specifically remember, because I'd requested it before to see it, and I couldn't find it. Well, I remember I was at, it's gone now, where Little Anks is now. Can't remember the name of what it was. But I was over there, and he come over and got me and said he found it, and I went over there and looked at it. I thought I got a copy of it, but
what was the name of the restaurant where Little Anks is now?
Hava Java.
Hava Java. What year was that the grant was done?
I think it was done in 11, I think.
Okay.
It was in 10.
It might have been 10.
10? Okay.
All I know is the grant was from the 10 county grant to 10 county grant to DCEDI, which was the Dearborn County Economic Development Initiative.
And
that's who our development agreement was.
I remember
our
being at the meeting
with.
in the audience, and I remember
it was an interlocal. between us and them. They were the ones that were the grantee, and they were the ones that were to report to us what happened with it.
And I would think, spelled out how it was to be distributed and
not
probably employee-wise and.
I mean, I did find a copy of it that was not executed, and I believe that, it was for economic development. It did have, I think it did mention Interpac, but that was gonna be between.
I think at that time, they might have still been using Project Vessel. I don't know as if
That
it
was
had
gonna,
been
that was gonna
announced,
be
but-
between DCEDI and the applicant, which was, the applicant would have been Mr. Linkmeyer, I believe, right?
No,
Linkmeyer
Or was it
Development, I think.
Interpac?
I think it was Interpac.
Was the applicant?
By memory, but.
I mean, because that's the reason why I think the grant was given. I mean, the only other place we can look for it would be in the minutes of the meetings of the grant committee.
So let's just tell Mike it should.
That would spell out what the terms were agreed to by the committee. But yeah, we did a thorough search. We looked everywhere for this obviously when the feds
Because
wanted it and could not find it.
If those lien releases was not voted on at a meeting, then I think our lien would go back on ahead of the bank because it wasn't voted on, and one person doesn't have that authority.
I need to look at that. Jackie, you said you found for Interpac, or was that for Waterview? Or do you remember?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't really remember what it was for. We pulled all the loan committee meeting minutes, the loan minutes, out of the other minutes where I had put them, and I've put them in a separate book. So when we want something from the loan committee, we can just go look there. But I don't remember which property they were talking about.
What's Mr. Rozo doing now? Do you know, Mike?
Who?
Mr. Rozo?
Oh, I have no idea. He didn't say.
Mike, did you check the title company?
And
Mike did.
I mean, the words was, wouldn't be surprised they didn't shred them.
Title company?
That was kind of what was told to me. No, not the title company,
No.
being.
The other group.
Well, we're talking $2 million, so I want to put it all together and see.
Well, believe me, so did the feds, but we weren't getting cooperation from the DCEDI. I mean, all along they said they had it, and he showed it to you, and then wouldn't turn it over when we asked for it for the federal.
I mean, I saw it.
Investigation.
I definitely saw it.
That's just incredible to me.
Okay. Any more, Mike?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Any comments from the audience?
As long as you're in a property buying mood, I have a place in Greendale. I'll even throw in the couch ornament I call my husband. No, I'm up here today because we received money from the AP grant. Thank you very much. And with that money, we partnered with Eagle Radio, and we were sponsoring a poster contest for drug-free or healthy lifestyles in the whole county area. And we are expecting it just exploded, about 1,500 posters to come back. Saturday, we're having an event. They're going to all be hung at the Lawrenceburg Community Center, and the young professionals are going to grill out for us, and we're going to have like a magic show and all kinds of fun things going on, and I just wanted to invite you all to come and participate in that. It's from
Saturday?
11 to 2.
This Saturday?
Yes. But the house in Greendale, think about it.
Thank you. Anybody else? Seeing no more, review and discuss claims board approval.
Motion to approve.
Second. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Motion adjourned?
So moved.
Second? No second? All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, well, okay. All there, that's it.
Hear me? So they screwed them all.
Oh.
How are you?
Excellent.
Oh.
Oh, let somebody learn. Right here, in this room.
Might get much bigger,
How's Lieutenant doing?
Kathy made me sergeant already.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
know. Yeah.
I don't know who's
10 minutes.
I don't know who's got what ranking.
Think of all the great money you're making.
I could have made him chief, I guess.
Can you hear me? That game starts in 10 minutes.
Don't know.
Hey, did you get your building, Josh? Not yet? Everything in line now?